From the alley-oops at Keysar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time, and this is exciting.
It is.
We got big-time guests.
We got big-time guests. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice, big, warm welcome to the host of Nitty Gritty Niners, Wayne Breezie and Peachy. How are you two doing?
What's up, family? That was amazing. First of all, the intro was amazing, but like the way you brought us out, like the intro after the intro, I've never heard us be called big-time guests, like big time. That's like, I feel good. Like we earned a cookie or something like that. So we appreciate it. Thank you for having us on here. I'm doing great.
Of course.
Doing fantastic. Thank you guys for having us on here. We really appreciate it. And calling us big time. That's awesome. It just gets you like right here. Thank you very much.
This is big time for us. I mean, we've been watching both of you guys for a little bit now in a while. And Wayne, you and I kind of connected on Facebook and kind of went back and forth and talked a little bit. So the fact that we're able to get us together in one place, talk 49ers football, and best of all, a little West Coast, East Coast action going on. This is big time. This is really exciting for us.
I love it. And a lot of people don't think that, they're 49er fans on the East Coast. There's a big East Coast population, all right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to go back to the 80s, especially my era. Like when we started watching Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Brent Jones, like that whole 49, John Taylor, like you name those players. I mean, that's how I fell in love with the 49ers. It was watching Joe Montana scramble around on a pass, throw off one leg, get the ball down. Like it was just seeing things like that. And like diehard fans on the East Coast. I'm Northeast, so I'm in Connecticut, near New York, and then Peachy's Southern East. So go ahead, Peachy.
I'm from Tennessee, and I've been a 49er fan since I was 8 years old. So like 1980 is when I actually did. And the same thing that Breezy said, just watching Montana and Taylor and those guys out there just was amazing. On the East Coast, we didn't get like a lot of 49er games back in the day like that. So, like we always got Atlanta games, of course, from being right there on the Georgia border. So I kind of watched the 49ers play the Falcons and things like that. When the Falcons were in our division, and that kind of stuff, which a lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
That the Falcons were once in our same division with the 49ers. But yes, but Breezy's right. There's a lot of 49er fans. There's a lot more 49er fans in the East Coast than people realize.
Agree.
Yeah, I think, we're in Northern California. I mean, we're right in the thick of things. They literally used to have training camp in our backyard, in Stockton, UOP. So we would go down there. Me and Alex both went down there. At that time, we didn't know each other. No. We used to go down there and have fun at training camp and get to see all the players. I even went to Rockland a few times, and got to see them up there. Joe and Steve and Jerry. And it was great. But I don't think we had a choice whether to be 49er fans growing up around here. I guess there was the Raiders, but there was never the Raiders. There was never the Raiders.
No. That's my thing. That's my thing for you guys. Like, do you guys catch any flack for being 49ers fans out where you're at?
I wish I would. I tell you what, I'll let them know. But no, I don't. I mean, because see, I'm like the mutt state, right? And what I mean by mutt is like I should either be a Giants, Jets, or Patriots fan, right? I'm right in the middle between both of those two states, right? Massachusetts and New York. So I should be one of those fans. But listen, the 80s, 49ers were winning. They were on TV, and I watched it. And then that's when I fell in love because that was the team. Plus, my mom was a Cowboy fan, and I just did not like my mom when she was watching football. Like, you know what I'm saying? I did not like the Cowboys. And so I went for the team that, was against her team. And so my team was the 49ers.
Yeah. Here in Tennessee, we have a lot of surrounding military. So there's all kinds of fandom that you have around here with different teams and everything. So nobody looks at you crazy. Actually, in my city, there's a lot of 49er fans, surprisingly. There's a whole lot of them. So it's really cool. But Yeah, I wish somebody would, just like Breezy. I wish somebody would look at it, would even try me about being a 49er fan and wearing my 49er gear.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I kind of want someone to test y'all too. I want someone to test y'all too. I don't know if they will, but that'll be funny. Look, there's a lot going on with the Niners this year, right? I mean, offseason has been crazy. The draft was crazy. All the moves they've made, crazy. Brought in a bunch of talent. Re-signed guys. We got young guys coming in. For the two of you, who is the one player on the 49ers that you're really most looking forward to watching play this year?
Are we talking about a player that was already on the team or a player that's been drafted?
Let's go both. Let's go one of each. Let's go one of each.
Peachy, you want to go first?
Okay. The one that I'm actually looking forward to seeing the most that was already on the team is the reemergence of Jalen Hurd. I hope that he is going to be awesome this year and actually, play the whole year. That would be fantastic. And as far as the draft, it's Trey Sermon. That's who I'm. Yep.
Wow.
It's definitely
snap.
Trey
That
Sermon.
threw me for a wrench. That's a curveball, right? And so she said Jalen Hurd. If I tell you what, Peachy, if Jalen Hurd plays all 17 weeks, I will buy you a ticket to the NFC Championship game or something.
I love it.
like if he can play all 17 weeks. All right. So she said Jalen Hurd. I like that. You know what, guys? You know who I miss? I miss George Kittle, man. I missed him just being out on the field because the energy that he brought, the fact that he doesn't like to get tackled or go down and you could try to tackle him with 17 people or whatnot. I just miss that. I feel like that brings a whole different vibe to that offensive side of the locker room. So I'm hoping, like Peachy, George Kittle comes out healthy, on fire, because he definitely is a role model and he leads by example. But that's not the player I'm going to pick. I'm going with Trent Williams. I think Trent Williams is going to be the person that leads that offensive room. He's going to have those offensive linemen in shape. He's going to have Mike McGlinchey looking like Trent Williams on the other side of the football. Trent Williams is the guy. Second year back from playing football. He wasn't playing football. He had the surgery, he had the injury. He was out for a while. He gets signed. He gets reacclimated to football. He has a monstrous season. He's like the best left tackle in football after not playing for a year and a half. And I'm telling you, he's going to be year 2 with a team that believes in him. And he's going to come out, and I think he's going to ball out. We have not seen the best of Trent Williams yet in San Francisco, even though he was the best left tackle in football last year.
I love both of those. Yeah. I know Ant is absolutely in love with the Jalen Hurd pick there, Peachy. That Ant's been quadrupling down all year long.
Yep.
Wayne, though, I got to say, everyone loves Trent, right? Every 49ers fan right now is the happiest 49ers fan in the world. When we brought Trent Williams in to replace Joe Staley, every time we go to break down clips or watch clips of a player in San Francisco, every single time, there's a Trent Williams highlight somewhere buried in there that you didn't even know existed. We were breaking down Ross Dwelly, and there's a Ross Dwelly block where Ross Dwelly does a great job of sealing off the edge. And what you actually see is Ross Dwelly sealing off the edge, Trent Williams pulling around and absolutely annihilating a linebacker in space. I had never seen that clip all year until I was looking for Dwelly highlights. He's a gold mine. He's a gold mine. Every time you turn around and watch film of him, there's something else.
And so a lot of people were trying to throw my man under the bus because they thought he was throwing his teammates under the bus. They asked him a question at one of the pressers, and I think it was a sack that was supposed to have been on him, but he was like, I was in the spot where I was supposed to be, and he didn't mention any players, and so a lot of people got bad taste in their mouths because Trent kind of threw his teammates under the bus. And I'm like, well, y'all need to play better. He's setting the standard. He's telling you this is where you need to be. And so we want to be great, then get to his level. And I think that this being the second year, I know he wasn't vocal last year, but I think they're going to start listening to him. He's back to all pro. He's going to be all pro.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that him and Alex Mack combined together just put that whole offensive line on another level. Some of the moves that they made the offseason were just, so needed because Richburg just couldn't stay healthy, and then Garland couldn't stay healthy. And I was at least okay with Garland, but we got into a world of hurt. So picking Trent Williams is a great pick, and then Alex Mack along with it, that offensive line is set and ready to go.
You finally have a center that can do healthy, And I believe he has a health trajectory, right? Like it's not a bad health trajectory. You know what I'm saying? And, knock on wood or whatever, but I believe he's going to come in this season healthy and smart. Right. And so if Jimmy Garoppolo is our starting quarterback, which he's probably going to be, we'll get into that later. But if he's starting quarterback, this is going to tremendously help Jimmy, because we talk about the center position and how it's the most vital, important position in Kyle Shanahan's offensive line. You need your center to set the anchor. They call off the protections. They do this, they do that. They slide guys over there. They know what people like. They're reading the mic linebackers. They're calling all that type of stuff. Like they're doing all of that to take a lot of the pressure off of the quarterback. This is why I keep saying, if Trey Lance was the starter, he wouldn't struggle as much as people think, because he has an all-pro center, right? And so, come on, guys, let's just think for a second. I get it, he's a rookie, but he has an all-pro center, and then he has a different ability of doing things. But I think this helps Jimmy, and not only Jimmy, this helps Mike McGlinchey, because now Mike McGlinchey knows where he needs to be, knows, on pass protections. Mike McGlinchey gets an A+ in run blocking. But on pass protection, this is where the center comes in. I should have said Alex Mack. I'm just excited to watch Trent Williams.
No, I don't blame you at all for saying Trent Williams. Not even for a second. Not even for a second.
Yeah, he's must see.
He is. He's must watch. I mean, he's a guy that when the plays go in the other direction, you still want to watch him, because something magical is going to happen at some point. Peachy, though, you also brought up Trey Sermon, and this is a name that the last 3-4 weeks is getting brought up more and more and more in Niner circles.
Running back one.
RB1.
It very well could be, right? Peachy, what exactly about his game are you most excited about, do you think?
Oh, wow. Considering that I watched him when he played for Wisconsin, and I also watched him when he transferred to Ohio State. I'm a Buckeyes fan, so I watched him. And wow, the most exciting things about him is just the fact that he can get out there and he's just almost unstoppable when he's got that football. You just need to get out of his way and let him do his thing, because he can bowl over and run over people like nobody's business. He can also, like, once he gets out in space, like, he gone. A lot of people, I think, have a misconception of how fast Trey Sermon is fast. He is definitely fast. And with the addition of him to this offense, it's just going to open up this offense so much more. I'm so excited about him. And yes, I do believe that he is going to wind up being running back one. I have stuck with that ever since we first got him. And with all of the great things that are coming out about him, like the way that he's excelling already and his advancement in, with the playbook and everything, I'm not really surprised about any of it. Like I knew that he was going to excel very quickly. So all these good things that are coming out about him are just fantastic. It just makes you believe what I said, that he's definitely going to be something in this offense.
Yeah, and Wayne said he yelled out RB1, and we had Tyler Menting from Football and Locked On with us, and he actually said Trey Sermon has the best vision in the entire draft, that his vision is next level, and he actually ranked him as the number 1 running back in the draft over Najee Harris, which was hard for us to swallow a little bit, because Najee comes from our backyard, and we actually saw this guy play in person, and he's rough. But if that is really the capabilities, this guy is going to tear the roof off in this system, being able to run inside and outside zone in Kyle Shanahan's system.
I'm going to say that Bobby Turner did his homework. Bobby Turner was gifted 2 running backs. We're not going to sleep on Elijah Mitchell, but I really do like Peachy's pick. If I had to pick a new guy coming in, as far as like the rookies or whatnot, it's going to be Trey Lance. So I'm going with the other Trey. But I just want to add to Peachy, the only thing that may hinder him just a little bit is his pass protection. But if he has that, he's RB1. Because everything else he will do better than any other running back. He doesn't have the speed as a Raheem Mostert, but we talked a little bit about this on Nitty Gritty Niners. What he will give you is tough running, 4 to 6 yards a carry. That's a first down like every 2 to 3 carries. And so then when you put in Mostert on a first down, they're going to be looking for that bell cow. Next thing you know, zone block, bam, 1 cut, bam, touchdown. That's what Raheem Mostert is known for, making one guy miss and then taking it to the house. 10 carries a game. We just spoke about this. My man Raj was on our show from RS 49ers. He was like, look, He only needs 10 touches because in 10 touches, he can get 100 yards, like easily. And so with that, now you got a real running back. You don't have to worry about Mostert pass protecting. You got a guy, you got a young kid, bell cow, that can do these things. And no one's talking about him catching the ball out of the backfield. That's like a must as a running back for Kyle Shanahan. This kid is going to excel. And in this system, zone is for him, and he's going to be. And so he doesn't need the same speed as a Raheem Mostert. He has his own set of speed, because if you miss him, you miss the tackle. Right. Bye bye.
Yeah, he's gone. Exactly.
Very true.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, I don't disagree at all. Those are all great points. They're excellent points. And Jeff Wilson injury may have just kicked the door wide open for this man to not just have the opportunity, right? Not just have the opportunity, but to seize complete control of this thing before we even get to week 1 of the season. That's crazy that it happened. It's going to happen that fast. You talked about Jalen Hurd. You brought it up. Ant's been chomping at the bit to get to this now, because this is Ant's favorite guy to talk about with this team. Peachy, do you think he could be wide receiver 3? And if he's not wide receiver 3, who is wide receiver 3 for the 49ers?
If Jalen Hurd is as healthy as they say he is, I do see him being wide receiver 3.
Yeah. What about you, Wayne?
Nah. I see Jalen Hurd being a special piece in Kyle Shanahan's offense. So when he's out there on the field, look for a mismatch, look for something different, something that the NFL and the 49er fans have never seen before, and you're going to see him light up. He did excel in preseason football, but now we're talking about him going up against real DBs, real, like, you know what I'm saying, like starting caliber people. And so that doesn't mean he won't excel. I just don't think you give him that lock. When we look at a number 3, we need somebody that's going to either at least be Kendrick Bourne or better. And I don't know if that's going to be Jalen Hurd, but it can be, like you said. But if I had to pick a guy, and no, it's not Sanu, and no, it's not Richie James, but it's a 7th round draft pick that they drafted out of Tennessee named Jawan Jennings. And if you've been following the stuff that's been going on, and I know you guys have been here on 49ers Cutback, Jawan Jennings, just like Trey Sermon, has been having a hell of an OTA session at that slot position. I think he's going to be that number 3 guy, if we want to call him a number 3. But I think he replaces the Kendrick Bourne, and I think he gives you a better, a slight bit of an upgrade of what Kendrick Bourne was coming into the 49ers system. Because remember, he went undrafted. Jawan Jennings at least got drafted, so he has a slight better chance to be better.
Yeah, I think that's a solid pick, and we're fans of Jawan Jennings, especially if you've ever seen his highlight video. Just ridiculous. It's so good.
He still it still hurts me, man.
It does.
That Hail Mary against Florida.
He's a Florida fan.
I'm a Florida fan. That Hail Mary catch in the end zone against Florida just broke my heart.
But you're right, Jawan Jennings in that power slot role, playing the kind of that area, that he's a bigger physical version of Kendrick Bourne. So you're right, that would make sense to upgrade. I am going to agree with Peachy, though. I'm going with Jalen Hurd because I have double and triple down on this. He's going to be healthy. He's going to play good. And he's a matchup issue for everyone. Just absolutely. 6'5", 230 pounds, and he can move the way he can move in space. Him against a nickel corner is a matchup issue, especially since most of them are short. So you get that matchup going for you. And then also the motions. They ignored Kendrick Bourne. They can't ignore Jalen Hurd. He's going to do some special things, and I can't wait to see it. I'm for all of it. I'm ready for it.
And I want to add on to you.
Go ahead.
I want to add on. The thing that I do love about Jalen Hurd is his vision. You want to talk about vision? This guy plays wide receiver with running back vision.
Yep.
I do like that. The only thing that scares me about Jalen Hurd was the neck, back type of injuries. And so I'm kind of nervous. Do you start him there? Do you let him flash at that spot and start the more durable guy and then have him flash in those mismatch nightmares, right? That's what I was thinking, because that's how I would do it. Because we talk about, it's not to switch the subject, but we talk about Nick Bosa coming back and people be like, oh, well, we're not going to throw Nick Bosa right into the fire. I'm like, why not? Like, dude's all pro. He's healthy. He should be good to go. But now we're going to ease him back. So if you're going to ease Nick Bosa in, I would ease a Jalen Hurd in as well. Like, you know what I mean? That's just my theory on that. And so eventually he would be that side. He might even be number 2.
Yeah, I've heard that argument a little bit too. Maybe too. On another show. I wonder who said that.
He might even be your number 2, Ant.
Yeah, interesting.
Fly Debo all over there to that third, have him be the wild card spot, but I do like the mismatches. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. I'm excited about the red zone. You
can't invite black people on the show, bro. We could talk, man. So I just want you to know, y'all might not get enough stuff in.
What are you talking about? We're gonna get all this stuff in, bro. Are you kidding me? This is the big complaint with us. Sometimes some people want those episodes to be longer. It ain't gonna be no complaints today. We got a lot to talk about. This is gonna be fun. Are you kidding me? This is gonna be a blast.
I'm just envisioning those touchdowns by Hurt, just in the red zone. I just think he's gonna be so great in the red zone. That's why I feel like he is. But
I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
What a weapon.
Right.
You know what? I see him though being more of a touchdown threat, and I like Jennings as a first down threat. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
definitely does.
100%.
Well, especially because you were talking about him being in the mold of Bourne, and that's what Bourne did. 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16. Here comes the first down. It was 1st and 10. You had to worry about him dropping the ball.
I can't figure it out. Save my life.
Dude, it's what drove me crazy. Drove me absolutely insane, Wayne, to be first down. I'm like, don't take him off the field. Put anybody else out there. Anybody else?
Why is he on first downs? Just they take him off. Like, it drove everybody crazy. So not you. We all have. See all this gray hair? Good. This is from being a 49er fan. All right. And so
those are all Kendrick Bourne drops over the last few years.
All Kendrick Bourne drops, but then he goes ahead and catches a touchdown. Remember, he led the team in touchdowns.
Yeah.
So let's not forget that. He dropped the ball a lot. He dropped the easiest passes too. He looked like the dude from Unnecessary Roughness, Stonehands, when he couldn't catch the ball. And then he makes these unbelievable, immaculate shoestring catches. Right. You're like,
catching in traffic with 3 guys around him in a tight window, taking a shot, getting a first down. And I'm like, all right, great. And then, 2 quarters later, 1st and 10. We haven't had a good drive in a couple series. Right in his hands, drops it. I'm like, come on, man. I want to like you, please. I want to like you so much.
Is Kendrick Bourne out for the season?
I don't know.
What? I don't know.
I don't know.
I maybe I had a bad dream. I hope it was a bad dream. I love Kendrick Bourne because I met Kendrick Bourne. I heard he got hurt in practice. I love Kendrick Bourne. I got a chance to meet him. He is the coolest young mother freaker on the planet. I tell you, bro. And so I dig the dancing. I dig all that. That's his personality. And I think that's what makes him, go out there and try to be great. You know what I'm saying? It helps him overcome all the adversity that he has to deal with, man. This kid went undrafted and now he's earned a contract in the NFL for the New England Patriots. And I think that's immaculate to go undrafted and then earn a contract on one of America's most greatest franchises in the world.
Yeah, he got paid. He didn't get a little contract. He got paid.
I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Completely priced out the 49ers. You knew that was coming. That's huge.
Yeah. Good news. Not injured for the year. Okay. As of right now, there's nothing too crazy going on with him. He's all right for now.
That's good.
That's
good.
Yeah.
All right.
He was looks like he was just at a golf fundraiser just 2 days ago. So
okay, awesome.
It can't be that bad.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, so he'll be dancing on the sidelines at Foxborough pretty soon then.
Oh yeah.
Is he going to be the Belichick way, right? I was going to say the Belichick way. Is that going to be allowed? Is that going to be allowed there in New England?
I think Belichick is changing his ways, man. He's going to have to listen. I'm a teacher, okay, and every year I get new students that do different things, and if I don't learn their things, I'm gonna look like an eyeball. So I go out and learn it. You ain't gonna catch me on TikTok doing no crazy dances, but you will. You gotta understand your players. You gotta understand their ways because you gotta connect to them. All right. And so if Belichick being a great coach, he's learning how to connect. I'm not saying he don't run his ship tight, because what he did to Randy Moss that year that they lost that Super Bowl. This dude Randy Moss couldn't make it to practice in a snow. It was a blizzard. You guys don't know what that is. Y'all know West Coast.
No.
It was a blizzard. I mean, it was looking like I can't even think of a movie scene from Cliffhanger or something. It was a blizzard. And he didn't show up to practice, and he got docked and didn't get to play that week. So Bill Belichick don't play. We know that. But we start to see Kyle Shanahan do the same thing. You ever notice that? Keller Witherspoon.
Right. Kyle's doghouse.
Yeah. Once you get into the doghouse, good luck getting out.
That doghouse is a mean mother, man.
Dante Pettis is still in it. He's not even on the team.
He's still in the doghouse. Dante Pettis never got out of the doghouse. Before he had a chance to get out of the doghouse, Kyle's like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. He stays in there
traded
forever.
him so fast. The moment he got in off, what did we get for Don? Or did we just release him?
I believe we released him,
Yeah.
and then the Giants claimed him.
Off of waivers.
Mhm.
Dag.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and what's funny is I haven't seen Dante post one picture with a cat since he's been traded. Like, I haven't seen any new pictures of Dante about cats. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, dude, like, did you just not like it here? What happened? I want to interview him because he seems like an intricate person to get to know.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. That's he's one of the, like, it's an enigma, man. Dante Pettis is he's not like the traditional typical NFL
Football
player,
player.
man. He's his own unique guy. That'd be a fun conversation for sure. For sure. You brought it up, Wayne. You talked about it earlier. You said we were going to get to it. The time is here. The time is now. The Jimmy Trey discussion. The discussion everyone is having constantly 24/7, 365. And it's going to be happening until either Trey starting, Jimmy starting, the Niners win the Super Bowl, and then it's going to start up all over again. Who's starting at quarterback?
I'm not answering this question first.
I believe that Jimmy Garoppolo will start at quarterback. I do believe that he, I will say the 49ers will try to trade him before the deadline. That's what I think. I think that Trey will start right at that point as one going in, one's coming out, whatever. I do think that they would do that. I think that Jimmy will definitely start for at least 6-7 games, something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna have to take some crazy trade for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch to pull the trigger on getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, literally, they said that they want a first-round pick, and I really think that's exactly what they're going to. They won't accept anything less than a first-round pick. So I think that their plan going forward is to get Jimmy out there, let Jimmy get comfortable. Guess what, guys? The schedule is kind of like set up for him to win, right? Like if Jimmy is healthy, he should be, 5-1 by the bye, and then maybe lose 4 games all season if he's healthy. So Jimmy's gonna start. I know I want Trey Lance to start. That's the guy I want to see. That's the guy that's gonna be the future. But he's going to be there, God willing. If, Kyle Shanahan said that too. We don't know what God has plans to do, but like he should be there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the starting quarterback. And with him, I think we're going to see success. I think that the team is built for Jimmy to win. They bolstered up the offensive line. Not only did, they sign a center and re-sign Trent Williams, man, they drafted some beef up on that offensive line. And they drafted guys that aren't going to allow sacks to get, to Jimmy Garoppolo. And so I think because of that, we don't need Jimmy scrambling around, right? We just need him to get rid of the ball on the quick passes and get the ball down to the field. If Jimmy can learn how to let the play develop and has time for a receiver to slip open, like, aren't you tired of Russell Wilson just like waiting 35 seconds before he throws the ball? Because can't no one cover for 35 seconds. Like, somebody's got to get open. If Jimmy could get that time, man, he'd probably be having a damn near MVP season. Sorry for saying a bad word.
No, you good. Look. This is the thing, right? With all this conversation and all this talk about Jimmy and Trey, I agree with both of you. I feel personally Jimmy is the guy starting the year off. And Wayne, I have to lean a little bit more towards you. It's going to take a big deal and a big package. And you were talking with RSF 49ers today, and you brought it up. You guys talked about it a little bit, and he mentioned if you deal Jimmy, you got Sudfeld or Rosen there behind Trey Lance. And we get it. You have to imagine that Trey's going to stay healthy, but if Trey doesn't stay healthy, that's your fallback plan. Fallback plan is one of those two, and that's a scary, scary thought. So that's why, in my mind, it just makes sense right now that Jimmy has to be the guy. And barring anything happening to Jimmy or Jimmy playing absolutely atrocious, we're waiting and sitting on Trey Lance for a year because, as Ant always loves to bring up, that rookie pay scale comes into full effect. If Jimmy has a monster season, you move him next year for your trade package, right? You can go move and get another veteran quarterback to bring in behind Trey that can sit behind him, that, you don't have to worry about the Sudfelds and the Rosens next year because you can go get the next guy behind Trey Lance that you're more comfortable with because you don't have that guy right now because Jimmy made it literally impossible for you to go get it with that contract. Next year, not that problem doesn't exist on top of the additional $25 million with the cap going up. The Niners are sitting real pretty next year.
That's very smart.
I think the thing is, I think we've come to the belief that it's Jimmy until 2022 and then Trey takes over. And I think if we did get a kind of Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick 2012 where it was time for Trey to take over during the year, that they would want to keep Jimmy the way that Alex was still on the roster because, heaven forbid Trey Lance get out there and get hurt, and then now you would at least have Jimmy Garoppolo to come in and everyone has confidence in him. He understands the offense and can go execute it way better than the guys that are behind them, with Rosen or Sudfeld. So I just think that right now Jimmy's going to be a part of this roster this year, and then next year is a whole nother game. I think no matter what, he's going to get moved. You don't want to let him go into that last year of his contract and then get nothing back for him. But if you could move him, especially if he plays well early in this year, you can get a lot for him because somebody's still going to want that. And, so there's questions about, from a lot of quarterbacks in this league, especially like Miami's got questions about Tua Tagovailoa. If he doesn't step up, they're going to be looking for a quarterback. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo could slide into there. Just an idea of some place he could possibly land in the future.
Love it.
Yeah. No,
and it all makes sense, And so even with that plan, that whole plan sounded amazing. Hey, man, look, Trey, you're going to be the quarterback, right? But what we're going to do is we got to make sure that Jimmy's, confidence is high. So we got to start him, right? And then if he doesn't do too well, you'll take over. And then if, God forbid, something happens, at least that's their insurance plan for 2021, right? That's Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah. That's exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo is. He's the insurance plan. He starts. And if anything happens, if it's good, he continues to rock. And if it's bad, you start the rookie. But guess what? You don't got to worry about Josh Rosen and Nate Sudfeld because you still got Jimmy Garoppolo.
I do not want to worry about Josh Rosen and Nate Sudfeld. I do not.
I don't even think
we just did a film breakdown of both of these guys. We just recorded it. We're releasing it at some point here in the future. And watching Josh Rosen film is it is scary because he'll make a great throw in the second. He'll make great throws in the first half of a game, and then you'll get into the third quarter, and he'll throw a ball into an area where there's not a soul, like not a player in his color uniform there, and there's three defenders, and you're like, what did you see? What did you see? Because I'm watching the film going, I would not put the ball there. I wouldn't put it there. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why. How are you? You're better than me. I know you're better than me. You played.
Do you chalk any of that stuff up to him being young, maybe not in a good system?
It could be.
Just your thoughts on that.
I mean, I watched him play at UCLA, and I was not a huge fan of him at UCLA. I thought picking him 10 was kind of a disservice for him. I think he should have been a second or third round pick, probably a second round pick. He had a lot of talent, but he had a lot of questions as far as how he read defenses and just the placement of the ball. He didn't throw into tight windows and things like that. He forced a lot of passes. Do I think he's had a good scenario? No, in the NFL. Arizona wasn't exactly the best situation, and he was pre-Kingsbury, so that wasn't good. Then he goes to Miami, and, they got somebody ahead of him. And I think really when it comes down to it, though, looking at last year, the fact he couldn't beat out Blaine Gabbert for the backup job behind, Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, that makes me think that this guy just don't got it. He can't play in the NFL, at least as a starter especially, but as a backup either. I think he's a 3 at best, and even then I still think he's a practice squad guy.
Oh, well.
It's going to be that competition between those two, between Sudfeld and between Rosen, is going to be very interesting because it's those guys are both going to be competing for potentially both of their last chances to make an NFL roster. I mean, there's a lot riding for both of their careers in the NFL. Like this may be the last chance for the both of them because Sudfeld struggled in Philadelphia to crack into that roster and that lineup, and he finally kind of did and didn't show a whole lot in that Week 17 game last season against Washington. It was not pretty. And Rosen has just everywhere he's been, he struggled. Now, granted, like I agree with you, Wayne. I agree with what you said, Ant. A lot of that has been circumstance. It hasn't been good circumstance, but at some point, I would make the argument, right? This is a pretty gosh darn good circumstance here in San Francisco. So
it's a really good circumstance for a quarterback to come in. And so you if I put you here, I give you all of this, Show me what you can do. And so I don't know. I don't think Rosen even makes the squad. I think Nate Sudfeld, I kind of like what my man said about he only picked 2 quarterbacks. I thought that was dope. I don't remember the last time Kyle Shanahan picking 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
But he might be in that boat, whereas Jimmy Trey put one of those guys on the practice squad. And I think that guy that'll go to the practice squad is Sudfeld, being that he's a Scangarella guy. And so I think that right there gives him the edge because he's ran types of offenses like Kyle Shanahan. He has a quarterbacks coach that works, with these, Kyle Shanahan and things like that. So I think he gets that plus up, but again, he'll be on the practice squad. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to come down to these quarterbacks, but I do know Jimmy will be starting week 1. If he's healthy.
We agree with you there.
Yeah, we do agree with you.
You think you're gonna how much Trey Lance do you think we're gonna get in the preseason? Because this is one that I've talked to some 49ers fans about, and it's up and down. There's some people play him a bunch, and there's some people I don't know, maybe a little bit here and there. How much actual Trey Lance are we gonna get, Wayne and Peachy?
I think you let him play. I think you let him play, and you let him get a feel of NFL speed, game speed, and you let him get his bumps and bruises, and you get him into football shape. He's got to play, because if he's not going to play much, I mean, I know people are worried about injuries, but come on, man, this is football. So let this guy go out there and play, and we already know he's not starting right away, but you want to get something. You want him to get into some type of rhythm out there. So I say let him play 2 quarters and then put in those Sudfields and then Rosens. Let him get out there. You don't need to see Jimmy. Well, should we see Jimmy? Yeah, right.
A little bit, just a little.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Let him play, for the simple fact that if you look back in history with the quarterbacks that are in preseason, not a lot of them get hurt. And like Tony Romo with the back, he already had, I'm saying, all that stuff. But as far as a healthy quarterback going out there playing, most of them usually make it out there. Trey Lance needs to get as many reps as he possibly can out there, kind of getting, just like Breezy said, with the NFL speed and the whole 9 yards, and just getting in situations. And even though a lot of things in preseason are vanilla, type things or whatever, not really ramped up that much, it's still, just being in game action and, just being a part of that. Not to mention that our 49er preseason game, especially the first one with Chiefs, is going to be, on television and the whole 9 yards. And this just gives, this young rookie, the chance to kind of experience prime time and things like that, right off the bat, because of where he's from. He's not been in, I don't know if he's even been in a prime time game ever before. So that whole, pomp circumstance, and with the fans, coming back and everything like that now, I think that would just give him an opportunity to really just get that full Monty of, the whole entire everything, so that he can kind of gauge that, kind of see what he's going to be getting himself into, from a smaller scale, because it's preseason, but it's still going to be, our eyes are going to be watching it. And we all know that everyone around the NFL is excited to watch him, to see what he can do and everything out there anyway. So
yeah, that was spot on. I think you're dead on with that. That's perfectly said, because I mean, you really need this guy out there playing. You need this guy, getting out there and learning, here's a TV timeout. Here's this, this is what you're going to do in these certain situations. Just breaking the huddle and coming up and seeing a defense, even if it's going to be more of a vanilla defense, you're going to get to see it. You're going to get to see NFL speed, and you got to get yourself, ready and adequated to that. Because let's be honest, if Jimmy does go down early in the season, he's got to be ready to go. And you can't be like, well, he did it in practice. No, he needs to have that game experience against a team of players that don't like you very much, that want to take your head off. And we need him to take a few hits so he just get used to it.
My thoughts.
I mean, that's, you have to take, because he's going to take a shot at some point, sometime.
Definitely.
Right? So if it's a preseason, at least there's a good chance that maybe it's not their best player that's given and dealing out that shot. He's not taking, he's not taking the Taco Charlton of the world shots and things of that nature. He's getting some guy who's just trying to earn his keep and earn his spot on the team. And you got to give him a run. You got to give him an opportunity to get out there. And the big thing is too, Peachy, that is a great point that I haven't actually heard a lot of people bring up. He hasn't played on that huge stage yet, right? smaller place, smaller school, smaller college. I know it was crazy. It's real compact in there. So it probably felt like it was a lot larger and the noise was probably a lot more than other colleges because of how just compact it is at that stadium that he played at in college. But that's, this is a whole nother level now. This is NFL football, the bright lights, the big stage. This is primetime. This is what every kid dreams of. Mm-hmm. He's probably ready for it. But that very first time you step out there, that's a whole other aspect. That's a whole other dynamic. That's a whole new level of football, a whole new level of experience. And he's got to be able to work through all of those things because every time he gets into a big game, that's the first time he'll be in a big game. That's a whole new set of circumstances that he's got to experience and get ready for.
And right, Russell Wilson, that's kind of where he won his job, right? In 2012, he got out there in preseason and just tore it up. So I think any pro Trey people are going to want him on the field to be able to show what he can do. If he has any sort of a preseason like that, it's going to make it even harder and harder to keep him off the field.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you got to let this kid come out there and just, like Peachy said, get some football under his belt, man. And like I never even thought about getting acquainted with TV timeouts and all that type of stuff, man. I just want this kid to get out there. I will say he is a champion in heart, right? He knows how to win. Not sure if he knows how to lose. And so if preseason doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, this might also give him some, ways to deal with adversity, especially being on a pro level.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely, 100%. We cannot thank you both enough for coming on here, taking the time to have the conversation with us, sit down and chat. Let them know both where they can find you, where they can find your podcast, your episodes. Where is everything at that is Nitty Gritty Niners, Wayne Breezie and Peachy?
Peachy got it. She does such a great job. So I'm going to let her. She's the face of the franchise.
You can find everything at twitchtv.com / Wayne Breezie. That's where Nitty Gritty's at. And then not to mention every other thing that Breezie dabbles in, such as NBA, movies, music, you name it, it's out there. Food, the whole 9 yards, tailgating.
Well, we got to get these brothers on the food show.
Yes, absolutely. So we have to get them on Sizzling.
Yeah, because we do a Sizzling Sunday show where it's like a tailgating preview show. So we cook and then we preview like the game. So we got to get these brothers on some West Coast to East Coast type of flair going on. So I hope y'all know how to cook on the grill because that's what this season is all about.
Oh, yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
This sounds like the greatest crossover in the history of crossovers.
It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you right now. You guys get to rep the Niners and I got to rep the opposing team. That's how it works. And so I got to cook foods. So let's say you're on week 2. And so you guys got to rep the Niners and I'm going to be repping the Eagles. So I got to make Philly cheesesteaks. I think that's you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I like that. I like that a lot.
From a presentation standpoint, the fans that watch the show, they'll vote on who had the best 3 dishes. It's a main course, which is your entree. It's a dessert, and then it's a drink. So you got to find some type of beverage that represents. Doesn't have to be alcoholic, but mostly of them are alcoholic.
No worries. I think we could do this. I think we can handle this. So we're definitely gonna stay in touch about that for sure, because that sounds like a blast. So make sure you go check out their stuff. You can find them on YouTube as well. I'll put that link right down there in the description. And like she said, twitch.tv / Wayne Breezie. Take a look. Check out Nitty Gritty Niners. 49ers fans, this is a blast. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. And thank you, too, as well, for coming on.
And thank you guys for having us. And we love your platform. And keep rocking it out. And keep this Niners stuff going, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, so excited to have you guys on. This was great. I can't wait to do more. I'm sure we'll be in touch in the future because it's just so much fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to have you on the Nitty Gritty Niners show, especially during the season, to get your reactions to some of this stuff. When we go back and be like, "That damn it, Jimmy Garoppolo, man!" Like, I'm just playing. No, I can't wait to have you on the show.
Hey, it very well could happen. Let's hope to God not, but it could happen. It could. Cutback crew, we love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in, 49ers fans. Until next time, you stay safe.
Remember, the right way is always the 49ers way.